Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be doing a video to teach you how to do dance competition makeup and hair. So it's a bit intense, there's a lot of steps, but very easy once you get the hang of it. I will show you all of my tips and tricks and let's get started. So first step, I like to do my hair first just so that way it's out of my face and it doesn't interfere with the makeup or anything. First trick. A loose tank top or a button up, because that way when you take off your shirt to put on your costume or your whatever, your outfit, you're not going to mess up your slicked look. So this works best with dirty hair, so grease is your friend. As you can tell, as you can see, I haven't washed my hair in a couple of days. I'm going to start and you're going to split your hair in the middle. So I like to take a comb with one of these kinds of handles and I just go right in the center of my nose and then drag the tail all the way back and then section it, just fiddle with it until it looks center. Take some gel. I like this one from Equate. It's just their styling gel. It's the Sport Ultimate Hold. So I just find it keeps everything really in place, but it also, if you have to do a hair change, it can be brushed out really easily. It's not going anywhere unless you brush it. So, oops, spilled on the table. So most people will do it on their hands. I just like to go right at the hairline, a little on each side. It looks like a lot, and it is, but it gets the job done. So then you just smooth down. And tuck it behind your ear, because that's where it's going, obviously. And you're gonna throw it in a low ponytail. And then I like to just take my teasing comb and just smooth it all out once more before I put the elastic in. And then you're just going to want to put a low ponytail right at the nape of your neck. And then you're gonna go with your ponytail. So I like to start with a little bit of hairspray in the ponytail. So my company, ours was braided buns. That's how we did our hair. So just do this in a tight bun, or a tight braid, sorry. And then you just take a teeny elastic, put it right at the end. Okay, now this part gets a little bit tricky. So what you're gonna do, you take your hair and you just twist it one time, the opposite direction as you're gonna wrap it. So I twisted it once sort of over top to the left, and then I'm gonna wrap it to the right. So you do this, and you can kind of twist the tail as you wrap. And then I just like to tuck the tail with the elastic underneath. And then I take another little baby elastic. Okay. And then, okay, most people don't know about these, but they are life savers. So these little guys, they're called spin pins. They're basically bobby pins, thick bobby pins that are like spirals. And I like to flatten my bun, and then I take it and I make sure I get one end in the bun and one end in the back of my head, and then you just twist them in. And they are the most secure bobby pins you will ever see. So I do one each side so they crisscross. So now your hair does feel a little bit wet for a while. It's all of the gel, obviously. And just while it's still wet, I like to take this toothbrush and just smooth it out. Fill in any little gaps. and that's hair. Super basic, super tidy, quick and easy. So I like to start with primer, lots of primer. And then I go in with moisturizer. And then onto the actual primer. So my favorite primer is this one from Arbonne. It's just their makeup primer. I think they only have one. And I like to do an eye primer as well. So this one is from Joe Fresh, and it is just their eye primer. I just do a little on each eyelid. And then I dab it in with my fingers. So next, I will just go in with a little bit of this stick foundation. This one's from Joe Fresh, and it is in the shade Porcelain. So I like to do it on my forehead right here, along my cheeks, a little on my chin. So this one is more of a matte foundation, and it just really helps with more coverage. So I will take my wet beauty sponge, so make sure you really dampen it, and if you use hot water, it will actually help. And then I like to go in with this one from Rimmel. It is the 25-hour long-lasting foundation in the shade 100 Ivory. So this one is a little bit too dark for me right now. It's winter and I'm very pale. And so this one is a little bit too dark, but on stage you get really washed out with the lights. So a little bit too dark is fine, like a shade or two. I wouldn't go more than that. Then I like to just pump this one on my hand when I'm doing it. So, and then you just take a little bit on your sponge. I like to dab it on my hand a little bit around, just so that way I don't get like one huge blotch. And then just blend it all over your skin. I like to take this one from Essence. It is their Liquid Camouflage Matte Concealer. This one is in the shade 20 Light Ivory. So just, I do a little under each eye, blend that out. But then I'll also go and just do a touch on any breakouts. But when I am doing stage makeup, I will bake. So baking is when you take a translucent powder and you put way more than you need and you just tap it under where you want, and then you let it sit for a few minutes to really absorb the liquid and just set everything, and then you wipe off the excess powder. So I like this one from Coty Airspun. It's just their loose face powder in translucent. So I like to tap a little into the lid. And then the Coty Airspun actually comes with this little puff, which I really like for baking. You just tap in there, just tap a little up, and then you just put a thicker coat under your eyes and anywhere that you put concealer. So I'll do a little this on my forehead, a little there. I get really oily around my nose, so I'll put a little bit extra on my nose. And then the rest of my face, I'll just stamp in a light layer. But I'll do a little bit heavier under my eyes, and then I will wipe it off later. So while I'm waiting for my bake, I will do bronzer and blush. So I really like Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. So I'm gonna go in a bit heavy-handed, but not crazy. So that's intense, but it's stage makeup. It's supposed to be a little bit intense. So again, starting at my ear. And then I'm just gonna dust off my bake. I don't like to let mine sit too long because my skin is a little dry under my eyes. So then I just take a big fluffy brush and you just... I will then go into blush. So I'm just using this really bright pink shade. It's in the shade Taffeta and it is from Arbonne. And smile, put it on your cheekbones, and then pull it back a little. Smile, put it on your cheekbones, pull it back a little. Okay, so you can see that it's a little bit concentrated right there and right there. I just like to blend mine out a little more, just so it looks a bit more like a flush and not like, wow, you have a lot of blush on. So first we're going to be working from 3 palettes. So the first one I like to use is this Arbonne palette. It is my ride or die comp makeup look. So these are the shades. It's a kind of like a build your own palette kind of thing. You can pick from any of the shadow colors. And then next is the Tartelette Bloom palette, or In Bloom. I really, really like this palette. It has a lot of great, I'm trying to show it, a lot of great shades. And then third is this palette from Beauty Professionals. It is the Smoky Nude Eye Palette. It's really got a lot of fingerprints on it, but it has big pans, and it's just, it has that black and the gray sparkle, but then it also has like all the browns and the bronzy shades to do a good smoky eye. So I like to start with a base just all over the lid. I'm going to use this eyeshadow brush from Arbonne. It's called the All Over Eye brush. I'm going to start with this shade from the Beauty Professionals palette, and then just tap off the extra, and I'm going to just do a flat base color all over the lid, just to kind of set all of the cream products that have been on there, so that nothing's going to grab, nothing's going to pull, and it's not going to give you just big blobs of color. It's just going to give you a nice flat canvas to start with. I'm going to go into the second shade here, tap off the extra, and right into the crease. So I like to just start right at the edge, do a little spin, and then fan it out. Then I'm going to go in with this next shade, this darker brown from the Arbonne palette. Just a few taps. It's a little bit into the corner on each side. I'll just do like a dab, and then I'll blend it in. I was going to say smear, but that's... And you can blend it up more towards the brow bone, just to get it out of your face, or out of your face, oh my goodness, just to give you more eye space. Next I'm going to go into the Tartelette In Bloom palette, and I'm going to go right here into the shade Rebel. Right here. Tap that off. And then this one I'm just going to do more to the inner corner. I'm not going to bring it too far out. Just going to tap it again. This is sort of like a red brown shade. Not crazy, but a red toned one, just to brighten up the eyes. And then I'm going to go under the lash line. So I'm going to take this flat eyeshadow brush. It's called the shading brush, and it's from Arbonne. And I'm going to go into the shade Rebel again and just kind of look up and brush it under the lash line. Focus it more on the outer corner, but make sure you get all the way in. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Leader mixed with Activist. They're more dark chocolate browns, and I'm going to tap it into the outer corner and blend in. Again, I'm pretty much just avoiding the eyelid as much as possible, because when I do makeup on my lid, it's too dark for me. If I do dark, I like to make the little smokiness and then do a shimmer shade on the lid. Finally, I'm gonna go into the shade in the Arbonne palette, the black, and I'm going to use this brush. I got this brush at Michael's, the craft store, and it's my all-time favorite brush. So just a little bit of the black, just dab it off, and then make sure you really tap off the extra, because if you don't, I'm gonna tap it on my hand so it's quieter. If you don't, you're gonna just end up with a black look, like a black eye. So I just go right dab it into that outer corner, right dabbed into the outer corner, and then blend. I actually am going to use a different brush to blend so I don't get too much. And I'm going to go back into that chocolate shade with the Arbonne eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to do that a little bit on the outer corner just to deepen it up a bit. I'm going to blend it a little more around the edges just to soften it up. I'm gonna go in again with this light shade from the Beauty Professionals palette. If you ever get your eyeshadow too dark, this is something you can do, or if you just want to blend out the edges, grab a light shade and start right on the edge and just do little circles. So right now we look a little scary, but once you get your lashes, your eyeliner, mascara, brows, all of that on, it will look fine. So I'm gonna go in with a flat brush from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to use from the Tartelette in Bloom palette the shade Funny Girl, and I'm just gonna run that along the inner lid. So that would be it for eyeshadow. It seems like a lot of steps, but once you get going with it, it just start light to dark and just blend. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, next we're gonna do brows. So I'm just gonna comb out my brows with a spoolie. And then I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I use the shade Medium Brown. Then I'm just gonna take the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. It's just a clear mascara. Brush it up, and then just kind of sets them in place. Now we are going to move on to one of my most dreaded parts, but one of the best parts. So this one I'm going to do tight line on your waterline. So I like to do it on my upper waterline, which basically I pretty much almost close my eye, look away, and then you just run it on the inside. So your waterline is right here on the inside of your lid. So this is just a chocolate brown shade. It's called Hot Chocolate. It's from Essence, and it is their long-lasting eye pencil, waterproof. You want to make sure you're using a waterproof pencil on the tight lines of your eyes, because your eyes water, and if you don't, you're gonna get it all over and it's gonna bleed and it's gonna look funny. Okay, next, the eyeliner. So I don't really ever wear eyeliner like on the tops of my lids. So what we're gonna do is you close your eye. I'm gonna have to use this little mirror, but you close your eye and you look as far down as possible. You put the mirror lower than you, and then you close your eyes and you look at it. And then you just brush it like you're brushing it right onto your lashes, your lash line I mean. So that's the difference. It just basically gives you some volume. I'll close my eyes. It doesn't really matter if it's super straight because you're gonna put lashes on top of it anyways. All right, so that's what it looks like. I just used this Joe Fresh Fine Tip Liquid Liner, and it is a felt tip liner. Mascara and lashes. So they seem super impossible at first. They always do to everybody. Don't worry about it. And if you're a mom doing your kids' makeup, they won't look good the first time, and that's okay. Lashes are tricky, but once you get the hang of them, once you know the little tricks, they're easy peasy. So one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is they use humongous lashes. So and some people can rock them, right? Like some of the girls on my team, they have beautiful big eyes and the big lashes look amazing on them. For me, I have little eyes. So if I put big lashes on, then my eyes kind of droop in the corners. They don't look right on me, and I look a little bit sick, tired, really tired, like I'm gonna fall asleep. So I use very fine lashes. So my favorite are the Ardell 110s. I got this one, it's a 5-pack. I think it was like $30. So lashes are expensive. But another thing, lashes can be reused. Just one thing we didn't really know when we started, so we would always go buy lashes. You can reuse your lashes. So these are what they look like, sort of a baby fine, but still long and wispy. So another mistake a lot of people make is you don't trim them to your eyes. So people have different size eyes, obviously. So you're gonna start with a bigger lash, but for me, I can't have really long eyelashes because if they're too long, then they go out too far and then they droop your eyes. So what you do is you get yourself some little scissors. So your lashes, so you're gonna peel them off. They have this already sticky glue to stick them on, but that will not stick on your eyes. So you're gonna need to get lash glue as well. It comes in tubes, but it also comes in brush form. Brush form is much easier. So what I like to do first is, it's a little bit sticky just from the glue that sticks it to the container, is twist it in a circle. And I just let them kind of chill like that for a second, just to get the natural curve in them, because you're gonna put them on your eye. Your eye has a curve, right? If they're straight, they're gonna be much harder to stick on. Just let them hang out for a second. During this time, I will put on some more chapstick. I'll just hang out. And then what you do is you take it and you put it up to your eye. So measure it approximately. But also make sure you're using the right one for the right eye, because they're tapered in the center where your eye meets your nose, because you don't want them too long there or they're gonna hit your nose and they're gonna tickle. So make sure you're using the end that's tapered on the inner corner of your eye. So I will just take your little scissors and trim off a couple rows. These little guys, they're little tweezers. A lot of lashes will come with tweezers. So I have like 5 pairs, because you buy a box of lashes, you get a pair of tweezers. So these curved tweezers are really helpful, and you just want to put it right on the curve of the lash and clamp down, so like this. So then you take your glue. This Ardell glue I find sometimes stings my eyes, but it's just for a second until it dries, and beauty is pain, but there's also lots of other choices. So I just really like this one because it has the brush. I find the squeezy tubes, they get messy. So you take your little brush, you just brush it along the top of the lash band. You just want it on the top, you don't want it on the back. A lot of people will make this mistake of putting it on the back instead of the top, and then it looks kind of funny. So you want to just brush it along the top edge. And then don't stick it on right away. If you stick it on right away, it's gonna be sticky, or it's gonna be wet still, and it's gonna slide around. So just give it a minute, let it air dry a little, wave it around. And then the hack to put them on that has changed the game for me because I've always been bad at them. So you take your mirror, you put it down low on your face, like looking at your chin, got your double chins going. And then you take this and you do it, and you just kind of open your eye just a little bit. Take this lash band and you're gonna stick it. I try and hold right in the middle with my tweezers, and then I stick that part right to the center of my eye, and then you can handle the edges later. So you're gonna take it, you're gonna look down at the ground. And just kind of place it on there. See, it's not all the way on yet. And then you can go in with your fingers, stick the outer corner, stick the inner corner where you want it. Just give it a little squish on. And then I like to take this little tweezer guy, and you go in and you pinch your natural lashes and your fake eyelashes and you squish them together. This will just make sure that they're on right and that they're blended. So, as you can see, they don't have to be perfect. They're gonna get the job done. You will figure it out. If the first time doesn't work, keep trying. I find it easier to do it on another person because you just have them close their eyes and you stick it on. So if you're a mama doing your baby's makeup, just have them sit still, blow on it, stick it right on, and then you can handle the edges later. So start with the middle and then work out. Do the other one, and be right back. You don't need a lot, but I remember the days when my mom used to do my makeup and we struggled because neither one of us really wear makeup. And so it was rough. There was a lot of times when my eyeball was glued shut because there was too much glue. But don't panic, just let it dry and then just kind of do one of these. It's fine, then your lash is fine. You don't even have to take it off. Okay, so that one looks a little bit crazy, but It's okay. Don't panic. It's just eyelashes. At the end of the day, if it's not working for you, go with a good old thick coat of mascara. You will be fine. So when almost done, just a few more steps. So you're gonna take your lash curler, and again, you're squishing the two together. It will give it a little bit more curl and a curl to your natural lash. So it just opens your eye up a little bit more. And then you wanna go in with a mascara. So the mascara will just kind of stick your natural lashes and your fake lashes together. They'll blend them in, so that way it doesn't look like you just have two sets of eyelashes. So you don't need a lot on the top. Just enough to blend them together. I try and keep it pretty much underneath, mostly on my natural lashes, because the more mascara you put on your fake lashes, the longer or the more gunk is going to be on them and the harder they are going to be to reuse. So I just like to use it as little bit as I can right on the bottoms, and then I go in with it on my bottom lash line. So that's the eyes. So next, lips. So we always do red lips. Pretty much everyone. I always use lip liner when I'm doing comp makeup because the red lip is a very bright, bold color. Like if you're using a nude and you don't get it everywhere, it's fine. Or if you get a little outside the line, no one's gonna notice. But when you have bright red lipstick on, people are gonna notice. It's gonna look silly. So you just kind of like smile so your lips aren't wiggling around. Because if you do it like this, your lips are kind of hard to trace. Yeah, I just made a crazy line, but that's okay. So you kind of do your smile right along the edge, trace the bottom, and then same thing on the top. Smile, pull your lips tight. And then I even color them in, just to give me that little bit of extra color. So one tip is if you're gonna do lip liner, especially on someone else, have them put chapstick on first. It just really makes the lip pencil glide. It really makes the lip pencil glide, and it makes it 100 times easier than if you have a stiff pencil. Alrighty, my lips are uneven, so it looks like I missed a side, but really they're just, this one's lower than this one. It's fine. So then you have a few choices. So these are some of my favorite lipsticks to use for comp. So first we have the Stay Matte from Rimmel in the shade Firestarter. This one is awesome. It's a matte, it's a liquid lip, so it's gonna stay on all day, no matter what you do. If you eat it, you might lose a little bit and have to reapply, but it will stay really well. Another one I really like is the Arbonne Smoothed Over Lipstick in the shade Gladiola. There we go. This one is just a really nice, it's more of like a hydrating one. It's wetter, as weird as that sounds, but this one is really good if you're maybe just have one dance, if you're maybe don't care if you leave it on all day, this one's good. If you have quick changes, this one will smear if you're rubbing stuff over your mouth, whereas this one won't. So it's kind of, I like the color of this one a little bit better, but this one just stays on. It doesn't go anywhere. If you are doing a quick change, you're not gonna get lipstick on your costume or smeared around your face. So it kind of depends. So today I'm going to use the liquid lip because I'll just teach you a couple little tricks. First, you're gonna take your liquid lip, and I just like to rub a little bit off the end and do a trace, kind of right over where you did your lip liner. Just with the tip. That way you have smooth edges, because it looks funny when you do it and then you have like uneven edges and then you try to smooth it out and then you end up with way overlined lips and you just look crazy. So then you're just going to want to finish filling in your lips. My camera is moving and I like to do a quick highlight. So I will take this one from Becca. It is in the shade Champagne Pop. And I will use this tapered highlight brush from e.l.f. This one is actually broken, so just tap it a little. Tap off the extra. Whoops, made a mess. Highlight, highlight. I like to do the end of my nose, my chin, and my cupid's bow. And then I'll go in with a little brush, and I will do under my brow bone. And on the inner corner. Alrighty. And so that is my finished comp look. And with every competition, we have these beautiful diamond earrings. And that is what competition hair and makeup looks like. Oh, and I almost forgot, setting spray. It's gonna be a long day, so set it all, and then you don't have to worry about it. So just close your eyes, do a few sprays. I got some in my mouth. Fan it off, and it will dry, and it will just keep your makeup in place all day. I like this one from NYX. So just a quick, I got lipstick on my teeth, which I always do. Another dance hack, take your finger and then we'll get rid of any extra lipstick. There's not a lot because it's matte, but if you just, it will take any lipstick that's on the inside of your mouth so you don't get it on your teeth. So this is the look. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for next video. Bye guys.